And welcome into Getting Help from Uncle Sam, and welcome to the year 2020. If you thought 2019 was a lot of political ads, hold on. You're going to be seeing everything under the sun this year, starting in March when we have the Alabama primaries, going all the way up to November. You are going to be bombarded with countless ads that are going to talk to you about politicians and running for office. But how do you cipher through all of this? I brought in today my expert, Dan Morris, with the Dan Morris Show. But more importantly, Dan, you spent years in the Reagan White House. You spent a lot of time really analyzing and understanding the meat behind the matter. And Dan, as we go into this year, give us, our viewers, some ideas on what they should do as they try to pick candidates to serve them.
Well, it's really important that they do a lot of research to find out about their candidates and where they stand. You're not going to find a candidate that you're 100% with and everything, but the main thing, as Reagan would say, I'm not with you 80% of the time because I can live with the 20%, so on the 20% it's not dangerous. On my website, danmorrisshow.com, we're going to have a link to every single candidate that's running for office in Alabama statewide and in the river region. Right. So you can go get a link to their website, because sometimes it's kind of confusing to find out somebody's website and to Google them. But you can go to danmorrisshow.com and look it up.
And of course, most of the time it's a 30-second shot.
Right.
In 30 seconds, you can either kill somebody or you can give somebody a pat on the back. And a lot of times you see a lot of negative things coming out in those 30 seconds. You really need to do your homework, don't you?
You really do. It's all about communications in this world today. Narrowband media of Facebook and on the internet, and then broadband such as WSFA here.
And Dan, we need to let our viewers know that you do a Monday through Friday a daily radio show, 93.1 on the dial, and it's WACV radio. It's called the Dan Morris Show. And basically, give our viewers a little capsule what happens in the show.
What I do every single day is I'm looking at what the news is talking about here in Alabama, here in Montgomery, but mainly national because of my national experience. And so what I'm doing is I'm taking the media news clips and I'm letting the audience hear them, and we're talking about it and taking it apart and dissecting it. There's so much disinformation out there.
Yes.
There's so much that media is not telling you. So I add to the story with my knowledge, with my contacts from Washington, D.C., state of Alabama, and here locally in Montgomery.
Now, going back to the candidates running for office, if a viewer wants to contact or be able to talk with a candidate, should they be available to a viewer?
If they're smart, they should be.
Yes.
If they're smart. You know, talk radio is a great platform to get to know candidates because I'm spending an hour with them, and I give them a pretty intense interview because of my Washington, D.C. experience. We have members of Congress seeking us out on a regular basis, wanting to be on the show. Bradley Byrne from 1st Congressional District. Mo Brooks is a very good friend of our show. But they are, and
even Jeff Sessions in the past, and Jeff still Sessions. Even now, yes.
Yeah, Jeff Sessions was a very good friend of this show, and he helped me get one of my best interviews I've ever had when I interviewed Donald Trump. I was one of two radio announcers in Alabama that interviewed Trump during the primary in 2016.
Great. Well, listen, we want to thank you for what you're doing. We want to let our viewers know, listen to the show. More importantly, call in. Dan is not going to intimidate you, unless I call in. Then he tries to intimidate me. No, but it's a very well worthwhile to spend your time listening to the show. More importantly, listen to the in-depth things that he does and talks to with regard to not only local, but national things that can affect your day-to-day life. Dan, thank you for being here. As we get closer to the primary, I want to get you to come back again.
Absolutely, Jack. Anytime for you,
give us a peek under the tent.
You got it.
And just remember this, as Dan said, do your homework. It's very serious. These people represent you. And we'll be right back right after this.